Hello everyone, this is Harshita. In this video I am going to explain how I have implemented blob store. I implemented blob store using bitvector. Blob store is a huge data file where the files have been added to the blob store file. There are two types of structures in a blob store. They are the user and the file. The user structure contains user ID, username, password and the offset. The offset is the point where the user needs to store the files of a particular user. And the file structure contains file ID, file name and the data field. The operations that are performed in the blob store are adding file, viewing file, delete file and the downloading file. Initially the user need to sign up, and when he signs up the register user function is invoked. In register user function the user need to enter his username, password, and here I have allocated 1 byte of the space in order to store the IDs of a user. And here initially I have allocated space for the 20 users. As soon as the user signs up, here the registration ID of a particular user is printed. Now the user need to sign in order to perform the operations. When a user wants to sign in, the validate user function is invoked. In validate user function the user ID of a particular user is returned, and this user ID is used in adding files, viewing files, downloading files and delete files function. Here valid is a user ID of a user. This is the adding file function. In adding file function the user enters the file name which he wants to add, and as I have said that valid is the user ID by seeking the file position to the particular ID we can get the offset of a user, and thereafter by seeking the file pointer to the offset, that is the position where the user needs to add the file. So here the files have been added. And downloading function. In downloading function the contents of the one file is copied to the another file. Here the user enters the file that is to be downloaded, and here user ID is the ID of the user, and here I have allocated 1 byte of this 1 byte space in order to store the IDs of the files of a particular user. By default I will be downloading the files into the input.txt file. And the view files function is here. By seeking the first byte of a file, I can get the number of the files that are present for a particular user, and by seeking to their offsets we can get the file names. Here file ID, file name and file data is retrieved by seeking the file pointer to the particular offset of a user. And the delete file function. In delete file function the user enters the file that is to be deleted, and here user ID is the ID of the user, and by seeking to the file pointer to the offset of a particular user, and by comparing the file name with the particular name, if the file name matches, here I have deleted this is the deletion of the file code. Here I have set the entire structure to the 0, and then I have written that node into that particular position. And the view user function is bit simpler. Here by knowing the first byte of the file we can get the number of users that are present in a file. By seeking to the IDs we can get the usernames. And here when I run it, first the register need to sign up. Here next the register need to sign in order to perform the operations. Here if we type option 1, here we need to add the file maze.txt. This one I have kept in that folder. Here success is uploaded. Now we need to view that file whether it is present in the file or not. and by signing in. Here by view files, this is the maze.txt is the file name, and this is the content of the particular file. You can see it here. And then downloading a file. Here I need to download maze.txt. So here we can view that by using as I have given default input.txt file. Here, see here the data of that particular user is, here the data of the particular maze.txt is copied, and now we need to delete. For deletion, if I press for delete function, here if I have given maze.txt and the file is successfully deleted. In order to know whether the file is deleted or not, here you can view it without opening the file by pressing the view file. Here there no file found, the file is successfully deleted. And I have done the blobs and I have done the message store using the same mechanism, that is the bit vector. Even here I have allocated first byte to store the IDs of the categories, messages and the particular user, and the user structure stores the IDs of the particular category, and the in category structure the offset of a category stores the IDs of the messages, and message in message structures the offset of the messages store the ID of a reply messages. Even here this is the enter user function. Here it is same, add categories. This one I have added by seeking the file pointer to the user ID, and by retrieving the user dot by seeking the file pointer to the particular position. Here I have added the category, and for adding the messages, here I have retrieved the offset of the category, and by seeking the file position to the particular offset I have added the messages. And initially, and then even for the messages, this is the add messages function. Even here by seeking to the offset of the category I have added the messages, and for reply messages by seeking to the offset of a particular message I have added the reply message, and delete message I have done same like the previous blob store. And thanks for watching the video.